Meeting to order. Please call the roll.
Bird, Henson,
Here.
Koho Kelly,
Here.
Mormon,
Here.
Hulseth,
Here.
Williamson,
Here.
Ingstrom.
Here. Item number 2, approval of agenda.
Any changes, Your Honor?
There are no changes.
Move to approve.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Henson,
Yes.
Koho Kelly,
Yes.
Mormon,
Yes.
Hulseth,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Ingstrom.
Yes.
Item number 3, presentation of petitions and other communications, Ames Regional Economic Alliance second quarter update. Brenda Dreyer.
Well, good evening, Mayor, Council, City staff. Here, yeah, well, I actually don't have yet distribute these. I'm gonna give you copies of our second quarter report. Then I have some interesting real estate market numbers I'm also going to share with you tonight. So a number of things to talk about. Well, I'll start first with our report. I'm joined tonight, Dan's here. From the organization, Eric and Chris Fleck will get some kind of fun things we want to share with you on a partnership we have going with the Boone County Visitors Bureau. But the report that we've got highlighting our marketing efforts in terms of some of our email distributions, as well as kind of our job board statistics. I would let you know that we're in the midst of redoing our job board. So I'm excited to even watch those numbers grow even more. In the spring, we participate in a lot of job fairs where we go out and highlight jobs in the whole region. So those participation there. Of course, I love the pictures of Mrs. Slaverworth. We've done features on her business, but again, you are really one of the first pieces of that puzzle to bring that job, that new business to reality. So the information in the report highlights that we use support with the small business grant. And then what a quarter it's been for all of us. So we've highlighted the Daisy announcement, everything at Fox Point, and then everything going on in housing. So I'm going to direct your attention to that lower chart. And just again to highlight the number of things that are happening, just even with state applications on housing. So I highlight the Kate's Landing project. The picture, if you've not been by the project site on Marion, I'd encourage you to do so. There's lots of dirt being moved. So the end result of that would be 128 market rate rentals. The Marshall project, the 1003 Marshall, the city's been involved in a number of things there, but will result in 6 permanent market rate rentals. We have a neat little rehabilitation project going on Green Street. Elite Construction's taken down 2 homes and replacing them with new homes. Great place. Again, the earth moving equipment's been mobilized down on South Marshall. So we'll see Prairie Place starting soon. That'll be in a couple different phases, with the first phase being 23 units of housing. Lincoln Flats and Page Flats are the rehabilitation projects for the old school buildings. So those are all in the state right now being considered for workforce housing tax credit incentives. So I would bet there's no community in Iowa that's got 6 applications into the state. And so I applaud the efforts of the city council and the staff here that have really created an environment where economic development can happen and a lot of things work. So we anticipate an announcement, hopefully as early as the housing conference, which will be in September. And so it'd be fun to get a number of those funded. So anyway, that's our report. Lots going on. We've got a real commitment to support the city through the implementation of the Project Daisy. So I have the opportunity to visit with the team down in Dallas every week. And And again, we are moving our way through that process. I'm sure you'll see me here in the next couple of meetings as we're talking about rezoning and annexation, and then start moving into some of the other steps. So the other thing I want to share with you is the July market numbers for real estate. So these are a little over half a year. And I think it's pretty neat. They compare 2024 to 2023. What I would tell you is a lot of communities don't have the similarities between 2023 and 2024 that you have. And in some instances, you're exceeding 2023, which again is unusual when we look regionally. So not often we see the average sale price going up as much as we're seeing here. Days on the market are usually quite a bit more over 2023, and yours are really not all that different. So I'll try to remember every quarter to share these with you so that you have some sense. I think often we hear the real estate market's not doing well and rates are high, but if you look at number of homes sold year to date, it's much higher this year than it was last year. So there's good data to help you get out there some positive news, because there's lots of great things going on. Before I turn it over to have Eric and Chris talk about an exciting partnership, any questions you have for Dan or I? And I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge what a privilege it is to work alongside the community and its efforts for economic development. It was fun even before a daisy, you know. Well, the stories we'll be able to tell long past our plant meeting here, that we call that part of one of the most exciting projects the state's ever done. So, but great. Anything I can answer for you tonight, or if I can't answer, I'll divert to Dan. Yes, Linda?
Have you given us this information before? This is really nice. I find this interesting.
Like I said, we started reading our emails and found out that this was shared in a newsletter from Hunter. And so we started communicating it out more regionally to our boards. That as I was getting ready for tonight, and I thought, you know, I'm going to share the Boone information with you. And again, I will continue to do that, because I do feel like I'll also share the Boone County Economic Growth Board is meeting board later this week, and then the full board next week. So I'll share that out with them as well, so we can push out some of the good messages that are going on. So it's good. Anything else to let me off easy tonight? So good. Again, thanks for everything. I'll turn it over to Chris and Amy.
Good evening, everyone. I know some of you. My name is Eric Smith. I oversee the marketing and communications for the Ames Regional Economic Alliance. And so Chris and I have what is truly a unique opportunity that's going to be coming to the region later this fall. So I'm going to back up and I'm going to let Chris talk about the Boone specific aspects of it. But several months ago, I had the stars of a TV show called Are We There Yet coldly reach out to me via LinkedIn. And so, you know, immediately I was a little suspicious. And so I vetted it a little bit and I said, well, okay, I'll take the meeting. I didn't really know a lot about it. But the short of it is that they're going to be coming to the region later this fall to record an episode. And so Are We There Yet is a television episode that airs on the Discovery Channel in the spring. And so right now they are recording season 4 this fall of the TV series, and then later next spring it's going to air. And so as I took the initial call, I instantly got excited about this opportunity. And one of the first things that I thought of was how essential the Boone community was going to be to this project. And so Are We There Yet? As you may know, if you watched anything on the Discovery Channel, it's very tourist attraction type show. So food and drink and what you can do in an RV. And so again, I'm gonna let Chris talk about the Boone specific parts of it, but the episode in a nutshell, we're able to work directly with the Are We There Yet team. And so we've identified some areas in Boone, and then they're going to come to Ames and take a look at our Main Street. And then one of the other really neat parts of this show is the last part of the show, they're actually going to move the RV into the RV lot at Jack Trice Stadium and talk about the tailgating experience as well. And so we're going to be able to put our region, Ames and Boone, on a national map. And so it's going to be really fun to follow them around, for 4 days this fall, get some behind the scenes images and videos and be able to showcase that we're promoting our region in this way. But then again, we get that second cycle when the episode comes out next spring. And so there's a lot of really great Boone aspects, and I'll let Chris talk about those.
All right, so as you guys can tell, this is a great partnership. We thank the Ames Chamber. There's so many good things that they've brought to us, and this is just another one. We couldn't have afforded to do this on our own, so this partnership has just worked out amazingly. So we're excited. They're gonna stay at the Ledges State Park. There was no better place to put them up than the Ledges State Park. It's absolutely beautiful in the fall time. So it'll really capture what Boone County has to offer and, the beauty in the fall time. So they'll stay out at the Ledges State Park. They're gonna go down to the High Trestle Trail, ride their bikes. They're big into outdoor adventure type of stuff. So they love to bike. And then they're going to come to Rail Explorers and ride on the Rail Explorers. While they're doing that, I just got word today from Mary Joy. The owners of Rail Explorers are actually gonna be in town and they're going to have a conversation while they're riding out and back. So exciting that we get a lot of exposure out of this that we again never could have afforded. So we appreciate our relationship with them and all that we're going to get to do.
I have two other quick points. So in addition to Chris's organization and our organization, we're also working with Discover Ames. So they are a third very active partner in this regional, essentially advertisement of our region. And one of the things that really sold me is, as these red flags went up, I was like, what are we really getting out of this? Well, if you go to YouTube and you put in RV there yet with a question mark, you'll see previous episodes. And so this isn't, we knew what we were getting when we signed up for this project. If you watch any episode, the production value is excellent. They know how to pull an episode together. They bring in a drone pilot, so we'll get drone footage. And so you can really watch an episode and you can put our region into that episode. And that's what we're going to end up getting when it airs next spring. And so knowing that they're already shooting the fourth season, they already have these previous seasons of work. For us, once we got Chris on board and we talked with Discover Ames, this was really a no-brainer for our organization to be able to promote the region nationally.
Yeah, I'd encourage you guys to watch a clip because it is really cool to see, and rain or shine, right? That's what they do. They go whether. So Andy, you guys probably know Andy Bartlett from the Ledges State Park. He's a walking wealth of knowledge, honestly. And the Ledges State Park is celebrating 100 years this fall. So just a great opportunity for us to showcase some really great attractions here in Boone County.
Is it 30 minutes or 60 minutes?
So it's a 30-minute episode, but because it airs on Discovery Channel, they have to edit for commercials. So it's really about a 22-minute episode.
Okay.
But I tell you, when I watched a previous episode, they pack a lot in. I'm looking at what is an advanced draft of the agenda already. I'm like, how are we going to get all of this into 22 minutes? Yet they know what they're doing.
Mhm.
They'll be able to do it. So it's really exciting.
And probably well done.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
Super.
Anything else?
Thank you.
No,
Thank
you.
Okay,
Good.
B, set a public hearing for August 19th, 2024 at 6 p.m. for the consideration of sale of right-of-way north-south the alley in the 1300 block of West Second Street between the properties of 1310 West Second Street and 1316 West Second Street, Boone, Iowa.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Koho Kelly,
Yes.
Mormon,
Yes.
Hulseth,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Ingstrom,
Yes.
Henson,
Yes.
Okay, C, set a public hearing for August 19th, 2024 at 6 p.m. for a request of zoning change of parcels of property generally described as parcel number as follows and parcel number as follows in the 2600 block of Eastgate Drive, northeast of the intersection of US Highway 30 and Corporal Rogers Denton Drive, Boone, Iowa.
So moved. Second.
Please call the roll.
Mormon,
Yes.
Hulseth,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Ingstrom,
Yes.
Henson,
Yes.
Koho Kelly,
Yes.
D, set a public hearing for August 19th, 2024 at 6 p.m. to consider the granting of an easement along Corporal Rogers Denton Drive to Interstate Power and Light Company.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Hulseth,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Ingstrom,
Yes.
Henson,
Yes.
Koho Kelly,
Yes.
Mormon,
Yes.
E 3239, resolution of fixing a date for a meeting of the proposition to authorize a loan disbursement agreement and issuance of notes to evidence of the obligations of the city thereunder.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Williamson,
Yes.
Ingstrom,
Yes.
Henson,
Yes.
Koho Kelly,
Yes.
Mormon,
Yes.
Hilsaback,
Yes.
F 3240, resolution fixing a date for a meeting of the proposition to authorize a loan and disbursement agreement and the issuance of notes to evidence the obligations of the city thereunder.
So moved. Second.
Please call the roll.
Ingstrom,
Yes.
Henson,
Yes.
Koho Kelly,
Yes.
Mormon,
Yes.
Hilsaback,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
G, set a public hearing for September 3rd, 2024 at 6 p.m. for the consideration of a voluntary annexation of property located at parcel C, described as follows, as shown on the plat of survey recorded as instrument number 241124 in the office of Boone County Recorder.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Henson,
Yes.
Koho Kelly,
Yes.
Mormon,
Yes.
Hilsaback,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Ingstrom,
H 3241, resolution setting dates of a consultation and a public hearing on a proposed amendment number 10 to the Southeast Boone Urban Renewal Plan in the city of Boone, state of Iowa.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Koho Kelly,
Yes.
Mormon,
Yes.
Hilsaback,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Ingstrom,
Yeah.
Henson,
Yes.
I 3242, resolution determining the necessity and setting dates of a consultation and a public hearing on a proposed South Marshall Urban Renewal Plan for proposed urban renewal area in the city of Boone, state of Iowa.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mormon,
Yes.
Hilsaback,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Ingstrom,
Yes.
Henson,
Yes.
Koho Kelly,
Yes.
Okay, that's public hearings. Number 4, public comment for items not on the agenda. Citizens with public comments for items not on the agenda. All right, seeing none, we'll move on to item 5, reports of standing committees. A, Policy Administration and Employee Relations Committee, Williamson.
All right. Just a report on request. We had, with the P&A committee. We met on July 24th to review our current ordinance, chapter 151, which covers noxious weeds and growths. This has been in effect since 2013. Our committee was asked to review, and due to a few citizen complaints, to look at this policy. And we went over the policy with our city administrator. We had some input from our community service officer. And we really took a look at this and decided that our recommendation is that no changes are needed to that current agreement that we have, that policy. When we had looked at it, we also questioned whether there was adequate notice for people so that they knew what the policy really stated. And I think we reviewed that, but it is, if the lawn becomes over 12 inches or more, the city can step in and have a contractor mow that lawn and then assess that fee to the property owner. That was, we had received a complaint or a comment about that situation. So that's why we were kind of looking at it. And we really have received very few complaints regarding that. It has been in effect since 2013 and seems to be functioning quite well. We've had few complaints about it, and the city staff are comfortable with that. So our recommendation was that we do not make any changes to that. We did talk about the notifications just to make sure that people that are fully aware of what that says. And we have alerted that it does go in the newspaper. It is printed, I think, 3 times in the spring. It goes out on the radio. We have talked about adding one additional kind of notice for that. And we could put that out on eGov, on Facebook, and the city website. You all should have a copy of that additional notice. And this is just a public notice. It says public notice to citizens. If you're having challenges getting your lawn mowed before you're in city violation of Chapter 151, please call the number below and speak with a community service officer. And the number is listed. Please leave your name, address, and phone number if your call is not answered, and the CSO will return your call. This call in no way relieves you of your responsibility to mow your yard according to City Ordinance Chapter 151. But that is just another way that we're making sure that citizens have an opportunity if there is, I guess, an emergency or a situation where they're unable to take care of their lawn or their property. They can call this number, and then we can see what the situation is. So that's kind of our review of this policy.
Comments, questions? Yeah. Right. Thank you. This doesn't need any action. Thank you. B, Public Safety and Transportation Committee, Hillsbeck.
Yes, we have one thing on there, and that's to discuss the downtown traffic lights. I'm gonna let Waylon take over this. Steve will be better to explain it.
Last week at the Public Safety Committee meeting, I brought forward a conversation that I thought it was time we had as Public Safety Committee, and we decided to bring it forward to you guys as a discussion to full council. So the information I'll give you now is just basically a discussion, I believe, is all we need out of it. But for the 4-way stops and the flashing lights and the traffic signals that are currently there downtown, as we come out of this remodel or build overlay project, whatever you want to call it, as we move forward, we're going away from turn lanes. So we'll have vehicles sitting at lights, waiting for somebody in front of them to possibly turn and not be able to go. The alignment of the light heads may be different due to the staggering of traffic and doing away of turn lanes. So the alignment won't be perfect. I think what we came to a conclusion is that we'd like to probably leave these lights flash for a while, at least get through the first winter season and see how things go and see how the community absorbs that before we make a complete agreement. That was my recommendation and kind of what we were looking for you guys' input on thoughts on that.
And Safety Committee had no problem with leaving them as flashing and trying that out.
Yeah, functionally, we'd have a 4-way stop at each intersection.
Functionally, it'd be a 4-way stop, but we can make decisions later if we wanted stop signs, stuff like that. And we'll have to have some community education up there, I imagine, on some things.
So really, I think we're just, looking for comments of whether everyone else agrees as well.
I just think it's a good thing to do through winter, and then if we need to change anything, we can do it in the spring.
I've had a couple of business owners downtown ask for a 4-way stop, and when this project was done, they would prefer everybody come to a complete stop for safety reasons.
And hopes too that it kind of slows down traffic as well, since we're taking out like the mid crosswalks and stuff like that. So
yeah, everybody's crossing the boards.
correct.
I was unable to attend that meeting, but this is great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, staff will leave them as they are and see, we can talk about it again in the spring if council chooses.
Awesome.
Thank you. Anything further?
Nope, that's all, Your Honor.
Utility Committee, Engstrom.
There's a lot of stuff going on. We got another meeting coming on the 19th. We'll bring more to council on the 19th.
Okay.
Just
Economic.
in regard to that, we will start the mediation process on Wednesday for the UV project. Initial meeting with our mediator, right?
With our attorney,
Our attorney,
mediation will be August 26th.
and then, yeah, this 26th is the actual mediation date.
Okay, D, economic development, Mormon.
We will have a meeting on the 19th, be a pretty extensive meeting, from what I hear, so, just plan on that on the 19th. That's all I have, Your Honor.
All right, moving on to item 6, department reports. Building official, Dave is not with us this evening. B, city attorney, Jim.
No report, Your Honor.
C, director of public works, Wayland.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just a quick note, got quite a few things, but the downtown mill and overlay project looks to be on schedule. I will have a little better updated schedule come out with a press release Friday. On that, we are training on our new paint sprayer tomorrow, and I will be doing staff will be doing crosswalks, stencils, train crossings and all that stuff in the next couple of weeks. And we'll start making a shift to school start. So, thank you.
Thank you. D, library, Jamie. Okay. E, parks director, superintendent, Mike. Thank you. All right, F, engineer, and I will turn this over to Bill.
Thank you, sir. A number of resolutions that we need to pass tonight. These are projects that SEH has put together, the lime slaker and the roofs at all the bulk plants. So Perry, take it away, buddy.
First resolution is to get into a contract with Simmering Corey for the CDB, or not CDBG, SRF, Davis Bacon Administration Services, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah. And basically, it's the same thing that they provided for the city on the UV project over at the wastewater treatment plant.
Need a motion?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
moved?
Second.
Please call the roll.
Hulseth,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Ingstrom,
Yes.
Henson,
Yes.
Koho Kelly,
Yes.
Mormon,
Yes.
The next is the very same thing, except for the water wastewater treatment roofing project, which also is an SRF project that has Davis Bacon requirements, and it's to get Simmering Corey on board for that.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Williamson,
Yes.
Ingstrom,
Yes.
Henson,
Yes.
Koho Kelly,
Yes.
Mormon,
Yes.
Hulseth,
Yes.
Number 3 is a resolution to have the city approve the contract and bonds that we received back from the contractor for the lime slaker project. Everything seemed to be in order. We reviewed everything. We just are recommending that the city approve that and authorize the mayor to sign the contract.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Ingstrom,
Yes.
Henson,
Yes.
Koho Kelly,
Yes.
Mormon,
Yes.
Hulseth,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Number 4 is the same resolution, approving the contract for water wastewater treatment plant roofing replacement project. Same thing. We reviewed the contracts, the bonds, everything is in order, and we recommend approval signature.
So moved?
Second.
Please call the roll.
Henson,
Yes.
Koho Kelly,
Yes.
Mormon,
Yes.
Hulseth,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Ingstrom,
Yes.
The last resolution there is payment request of $241.97 to Manats for work on the Spurry Street construction project.
So moved. Oh, sorry.
I was just saying, you reviewed all that quantities and everything match what we were seeing.
Apologize. So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Koho Kelly,
Yes.
Mormon,
Yes.
Hulseth,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Ingstrom,
Yes.
Henson,
Yes.
Okay. G, public safety, Chief Adams.
Yes, Your Honor, I just want to let the council know that we received a grant from Prairie Meadows, the award of $50,000 for a second. We currently have one chest compression device. So chest compressors, anytime you're doing CPR, we can use an automated system so we can utilize more staff to be able to give medications, airway, those kind of things. We received $15,000 from the Prairie Meadows grant fund, and we'll order a second one. So now we don't have to grab it in between calls or have it on the wrong truck during time. So we'll have a second one. So well done.
Chief Weeble.
No report, Your Honor.
Assistant City Administrator, Andre.
I just have a quick update on legislative changes on the open meeting laws. Some of you that have had committee meetings may already have noticed this. But effective July 1st, we have to now offer a electronic means for our members to join every committee, board, task force meeting. We do this already for council. It's just now being expanded to other meetings. So just so if you're missing a meeting or and you want to join, you can certainly do that. But if you're also in a meeting, they will all be Zoom now.
All council committee meetings.
All council committee meetings. If you're on the art board, it would be
Already, yes.
they're using something besides Zoom, but we just have to provide some sort of electronic means.
When you do a site visit, a committee meeting, how are we gonna? Haven't figured it out yet. Harry can
I have a couple of
Carry
weeks to do that.
cell phone with a meeting on it.
Yeah, I never thought about that, but yeah, we do a lot of remote meeting.
Yeah, I have thought about that. I assumed that would be an option with, and so we just wouldn't have video at that point.
Stream it.
Body cams.
Yeah.
It does not have to be streamed. It just has to, you just have to, yeah, you just have to be able to,
Not even,
It doesn't have to be live.
be recorded. It
it's just
just,
available.
Oh, okay.
so if you guys do not want to be here in person, you would have the ability to call in instead of being here physically.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Staff will look at that further to see if that, if we are required to do that, then we'll make the adjustments. We're gonna look into that from some more.
It's your drone, Terry.
That's fine.
I, City Administrator, Bill.
Thank you, sir. My first item is resolution 3248, a resolution calling for a special election on the issuance of not to exceed $10 million general obligation bonds or capital loan notes. I will note on the resolution halfway down on the first page will be the actual language that will be on the ballot. For your information, the second page I'll bring to note, on the resolution, it says $10 million general obligation bonds, and that the project cost total is $19,700,000. Doesn't change the bond any. The most the city is bonding for is the $10 million. In addition, there are some things in this resolution that aren't maybe necessarily pertinent to what the city's doing on the bond, on how we're going to pay for it. But because of a change in the state law that took effect July 1st, our attorneys told us that what is in here has to be in here. There may be some confusion a little bit. I know the mayor's going to talk about one of them here shortly when I'm done, explain it. And as well, staff and the Citizens Committee will educate everyone on that. Mayor, if you would like to.
Sure. And the one item that may be confusing to folks is the amount of $82 or something like that.
8157.
8157. So what is stated there would be the maximum levy impact on $100,000 home if we were to finance it through property taxes. Okay. We are not planning to finance it entirely through property taxes, but with local option sales tax and existing revenues. So that's, I think, the intention is probably transparency, so folks would know if this passes and it were levied, that's how much it would cost per $100,000 of valuation, and that might be confusing.
I think it is. Yeah, well, I just think that it's confusing to put that in when that's not the way we're.
An attempt to clarify.
Yeah.
This is a different situation.
But
We had no choice.
yeah.
If there are no further questions, I'd take a motion to approve that resolution.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 3248.
Second, we have a question.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
None of this has been out to the public that I've seen after all the open houses that we had next door with the committee, the mayor's task force about the wellness center. Number one was the pool. And our discussion was the pool's phase 2. Well,
right.
If it doesn't happen in phase 1, it's not going to happen. I don't know what we're getting for 19.7 million, because that wasn't ever a number that was discussed ever in any open house.
Sure.
The pool was number one in every open house.
Yeah.
So what happened here? I mean.
Yeah.
We presented to the council, and then I hear nothing. Next thing I know, 19.7 million, that's never gonna fly with Boone Island.
So thank you for the question. I was on the task force as well. And the task force, their job, our job, was to provide a location for the services desired. And the location was found. And it took a while before an available location could be secured for this process to move forward. If we were to have done an aquatics portion in this phase, it would be even more than the current amount, of course. And that means more would have to be raised privately. That's one thing. Another is the operational sustainability without a pool is much greater than with a pool, of course. And the third thing is working with our partners, moving towards that next phase to make sure that if we went to an aquatic space, we would make sure that we had the setup that all of them needed in order to serve the greatest need across the board with them. And I understand, the disappointment for those folks. Again, you say it's number one on the desirability list, but feasibly, we just couldn't make it work with any other element besides simply an indoor aquatics.
Well, how much was just a pool gonna be versus 4 gyms and 3 fields or whatever it was gonna be? You got upkeep there and you're using them 3 months out of the year. It's just like the park, you use that park pool 3 months out of the year, very important to the community. Well, now we're gonna get a bunch of gyms. I don't see any value with this 19.7 after all the work that went into trying to get something for the community after the one downtown fell through. Which wasn't the right plan, but I don't see this even flying low with Boone, Iowa, because there's so many people against this whole thing, and now no pool, no way.
Well, yeah, and that's why the only way we could move forward with anything was a plan like this. And of course, if the citizens do not give the approval to move forward on it, we will not move forward. And if you're correct in your assertion, then.
Will ever consider it as a separate entity? Forget the gyms, forget the turf fields. Was that 10 million? Would that work? I mean, that would fly, I'm sure.
It would have been comparable to the amount that we have currently.
19 million?
And I'm not going to put a number on it because the specifics of that pool itself were not discussed. How many lanes, how large, everything like that. So a decision had to be made how to move forward.
The property was going to be next to Ledges Elementary. Now it's by the middle school. It isn't even in the same place that we had discussed and voted as a.
Well, as you know, when we task force, we specifically did not talk about a parcel, right? We talked about regions because of that exact reason. We couldn't guarantee a parcel was available, right? Until later on. And that's why we talked about regions for the heat map.
But now it's going to be between Southeast Lynn and the middle school and a smaller parcel because it was going to be housing and 40 acres for this new complex. It was going to be 40 and 40 with the economic development team. That's the last I heard at this council meeting months ago.
I think that you might be misremembering that.
Well, that's where I was, but
anyway,
balance between the middle school and Southeast Lynn.
Yes, correct. That is correct.
Where that street doesn't go through, it's going to be.
And building a road is part of the plan. Yes.
The first time that was made public was at the last council meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
That location. Prior to that, it was a big orange region.
Yeah, well, that was one of the considerations, but decided it was too small for what we wanted to do. There's no way to expand the box in the houses in out here and the whole complex there.
And every citizen's going to make their own determination whether it's the right way to move forward. And I appreciate your input on this. And I know you worked really hard on the task force and the pool was your number one priority. And there's a number one priority of those that gave input as well. And the difficult decision had to be made on how to move forward knowing that we couldn't finance all of it in one go. So that's how we came.
I still see the
I understand the disappointment.
whole thing as even feasible to move forward with, in my opinion. So, and there's probably a lot more people who say that.
I just had a question. Were you involved in the task force?
Yes.
Yeah, he was on that.
Okay, so you were involved in the conversations going up to that, but then the decision,
Well, this decision. we
Was
were
it-
involved in.
okay, was not really discussed.
The goal of the task force was to find a location and
Okay.
identify the services that were desired.
But not what the facility really surprised.
And that, ran up against the realities of location, financing and things like that.
And my understanding is we don't know what the design's gonna look like right now. We have to get the commitment of the city of Boone, the people of Boone, to give us the ability to bond for that $10 million. And then the vote yes committee, and then they're gonna try to do their private fundraising and figure out how much money we have. If they raise $30 million, great. If they raise 5 million, we're drastically changing what we're doing at that point. So the next step will be them finalizing the plans and giving us what the plans are actually gonna be, and then the maintenance on them as well. So we'll know what it's gonna cost to maintain these buildings as well. So then,
Usage numbers.
yeah, and
$80,000.
You're not gonna get any design. You might get some concept.
so, but that was my understanding from that last meeting, because I felt we got nothing out of that last meeting. And I reached out and I got a little more clarification on that. And that's what it's going to be, is we'll have some more ideas of what we're going to be building once we know how much money we have. But as a city, we are committed to the $10 million to help out with this project.
If the citizens approve.
Yeah,
Correct.
if the citizens approve.
And I'd like to go back to address your point about recreation director. That position was going to be filled regardless of the implementation of a physical structure, just for, the future growth of recreation in Boone in general. So he's going to be working hard in a lot of areas outside of anything to do with the physical location. We already have youth sports clubs, things of that nature, and he'll be working on adult leagues and other things in that area. So it's kind of the same realm, but not the same thing.
And I
It's
agree.
an independent thing.
I agree with that. We decided we really needed that position, no matter how we proceed, because we've had some of the programs were parents driven, and we need somebody really to organize for it. So that was a step we took, no matter what happens here in the next few years.
It'll be nice to have that one hub that we can go to, and then he can work with all entities as well, so.
But I appreciate your comments and input, and I do know how important that is to you, to many people. Thank you. Okay, did we have a motion on the table?
Yeah, I can.
Yep. We have a second? Okay,
We do.
please call the roll.
Mormon,
Yes.
Hilsaback,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Ingstrom.
Yes.
Henson,
Yes.
Koho Kelly.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you. My next is discussion of our HVAC, some issues we're having on the first floor of City Hall. This was put in back in 2006 and 2007 when it was remodeled. We're having some issues with trying to control the temperature of the HVAC, of the air and everything. It coming on when it's supposed to and everything. So our maintenance person, Mike, has researched this a little bit, and he actually got with a company that actually installed some of the controls and everything back when it was remodeled, FM controls. And we got an estimate for an automated temperature controls quotation to install this on our HVAC. This will allow Mike to go in on the computer and look at it and see where the problem is. And then he'll fix it himself if he can, or if we need to call in, where before, if something's not working, we had no idea where it was. So we're calling in service people to come in and find the problem. When this is hooked up, he'll be able to get on, and everything will be on via computer to look at it and see where the problems are. And then call the service people at that time if we need to. The quote on that, and so we also had a conference call with them, and Andy, who is our IT person, joined us because he has experience with this company up in Webster County. where, some of you know, that's his full-time job as IT. He's familiar with this company, gave a good recommendation. Mike likes this company. The quote is $12,896. We have money in fiscal year 25 LOST budgeted. We budgeted 24,000 for the continuation of remodeling of City Hall. This wasn't exactly what I had pictured when we budgeted, but I feel that we need to do this job. We have the money in the budget. So I'm letting you know that because you're involved in the renovation of City Hall, that amount of money is going to come from that 25,000 so that we can fix this. That's our plan. I'll take any questions or comments you have. If not, we're going to proceed forward.
Good, okay.
My next item is request for out-of-state travel. We need to send our finance director to Wisconsin, where, as you know, our new system that we got, well, it's not so new anymore. It's been a couple of years, I guess, but 1 year. Civic Systems, they have a really good training up there that she needs to attend. It's in Wisconsin. Andrea went to a previous one before, and it was very helpful for them, and we feel we need to send her up there. That's from September 11th through the 13th, and I'll take a motion to approve out-of-state travel for the finance director.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Elizabeth,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Ingstrom,
Yes.
Henson,
Yes.
Koho Kelly,
Yes.
Mormon,
Yes.
My last thing just to note is the Main Street designation. The decision is tomorrow, and we'll find out tomorrow whether or not we've been picked. That's over in Cedar Rapids. Myself and Kyle and Terry are going over that, as well as some other citizens. Thank you.
Number 7, consent agenda. All items listed under the consent agenda will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a request is made prior to the time council votes on the motion.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Williamson,
Yes.
Ingstrom,
Yes.
Henson,
Yes.
Koho Kelly,
Yes.
Mormon,
Yes.
Elizabeth,
Yes.
Okay, 8, no ordinance this evening. 9, merit comments. Between last meeting and this meeting, we had a very successful Boone County Fair, and we had a very successful Nights on the Green, but I'll let you say more about that.
Yeah, nights, we had about 500 people out there. Air Guard landed a helicopter, the kids loved it. So yeah, it was a good event. Nice space out there, so.
A good band too. The band was really good. The band was really good.
Yeah, they were really good, yeah. So, yeah, no, it was good, but we're hoping that we'll be back downtown in September.
All signs point to yes.
Yeah.
Good.
That's good.
Number 10, further council member comments.
I have a couple of things. Mayor Steins reached out to me last week and discussed a few items that he wanted me to check into, and I did so. The lot right across the street next to New Virginia over here, kitty corner from Dollar General, right, is up for sale. They want $70,000 for that lot. Since it's one of the last remaining green spaces downtown, we thought it might be a good idea for the city to invest in that. That way, if something comes along, economic development wise, we may not run into the same problems we're running into other areas where there's a purpose for that lot, and so they jack the price up on us. So our suggestion is that we have staff negotiate that and purchase that lot so that we own it. Second thing that he asked me to check into were permanent tables and covers down at the green space, which we had talked about previously. So you guys all have that in front of you. The cost quote for that is about $15,000 all told. Which I think we can probably manage that, or at least get it on the radar for next spring during budgeting or something like that. So that's number 2. And the third and last item that we have was we also discussed a potential splash pad. And you have that information now in front of you as well. Just some food for thought. Is something that we'd have to budget for and discuss further, but that lot could accommodate that if we so chose to do it. There's a lot of things to take into consideration, long-term maintenance, cost, that type of thing, but it's worth, at least your consideration, I would think, so.
Thank you for bringing all that information together. And you'll see in here several different configurations and the type of component. So we can envision what that would look like to you.
Yeah, it varies. They're as low as 150,000 all the way up to a million. So
So you think,
depends on how big you want and how elaborate you
Is
want.
that what you're thinking over here?
Well,
Eighth, yeah,
Oh. On eight,
but
or,
Virginia.
oh, okay.
but kind of turning it into a park area,
yes,
I mean, obviously with a splash pad and.
and there'd be, I would hope there'd be picnic tables and, areas like that, but something to think about. And it's something we'd have to budget for.
Yeah, and is everybody clear what picnic tables he's talking about on the Memorial Park by the rail car on 9th Street?
Okay.
No, it's green space.
Green space.
The green space by that, yeah, by the rail car.
Eighth and story.
Oh, I thought you meant the
Oh,
eighth story green space.
oh, that one, yeah. Two.
Either or.
That's four of those. We could do both.
That's the one I had in my mind, but the one by the Memorial Park.
As well.
Yeah,
That's just miscommunication on my part,
yeah, but
but we could do both.
Take both.
I mean, $15,000 for four of them is not. I mean, we could probably do six and put two up there as well.
It's the ones with the permanent kind of,
Yeah,
like the metal, like.
they're metal tops, but
Yeah,
they're adjustable and they can be removed in the winter time and stored.
Right, because we,
But I included $1,000 per pad, put them on pads so that we can anchor them down and then it would be easy for them to mow around. So they don't have to move them.
I always think those are a good idea rather than,
Yeah, similar to what we saw in Cedar Falls on,
yeah, and Ames has those downtown.
and that would allow the people downtown, if they want to have lunch, they can go over there, have a place to sit, shade, sit and have lunch and enjoy that space. So anyway, that's all I have, Your Honor.
I have a comment. Just wanted to share that the Arts Advisory Board has been really pretty busy. And I know Holly Herzog is going to probably next meeting kind of get a full report. But I will just share that the board has been involved with the farmers markets. They're working on making a community mosaic and getting public involvement in that. They are working on being a part of Art in the Park at Pufferbilly Days, and we have funds that we have just about 2,500 in grants to artists in the community. So really doing a lot with those funds.
excellent. Some member comments. Right, seeing none, this meeting is adjourned.